Okay, guys, I am still feeling quite anxious. I was trying to get into those anxious feelings and what is causing my anxiety. So let me do something to detour how I'm feeling. So I stopped by Twisty Treat, guys. Twisty Treat is very much emotional eating because, girl, I'm just not feeling it right now. Let's see, there's the Twisty Treat. What do we want? I'm probably just gonna get something plain. Get a classic, the swirl of the vanilla and chocolate. Okay, so I'll just get the ice cream. I'm sorry. So just the regular ice cream cone with the vanilla and chocolate swirl. Yeah, just a regular cone. I'm sorry.
I did. I
Strawberry and vanilla twirl.
Oh God.
Child, small, medium, or large. Thank you. Appreciate your
Medium. I'm sorry. It's too much for me to look at. I don't even know where to look. No, that's all.
I'm 36.
Okay.
I thought they're really early and they were
This is all really cheap.
I like
That's all the cones. Wow, girl, it's gonna make me feel good for the moment. Let's take a little seat and talk, chat it up, y'all. Good. So, guys, I'm sorry, I have not gotten eating cute down pat, so I'm gonna eat this and I'll be back with you guys. Reviewing my previous part. Just finishing my ice cream so I can go and record the second part.
They come to YouTube, they start their channel to nothing. They come to YouTube, they start
Reveal
their
my
channel,
own video now.
and then they start, generating their own thing and getting off of that workshop, getting out of that matrix. The matrix is going to keep you bound to a job.
It does.
When you're bound to a job, you're basically bound in life. I try to tell Marcello that all the time because anytime I tend to not even talk about how I feel anymore or how I'm doing. I just put on fake smile. I'm okay. I'm doing good.
That part.
Just go through the motions, whatever.
Whenever
Because
it
nobody
won't
wants to hear it
pause.
all the time.
This
You know what I mean?
this phone is
So-
not acting right. But Marcello always tell me, whatever problems you have, at least you're free. Which we have a degree of freedom out here, but we have different things that bind us. He has gates. He has bars. He has count times. He has bedtimes. He has things like that that bind him. But out here, we're very much still bound. Our boundness out here are what can you afford? You can live in what area you're able to afford. A lot of times that deals with safety. A lot of the safer neighborhoods and more security costs a lot more money. And now it's even top dollar to live in the hoods. Girl, you can't even afford to live in a hood. Like, when did they start that? We're bound by time restraints because you're always working because you got to get more money because it's never enough money, which means you cannot tend to other things, like such as when he's asking me to check on his case and check on this and call the whoever. Like now he needs me to call medical because he was talking about this new medicine that they have for vitiligo. He does suffer from vitiligo and he is very self-conscious about it. He's become self-conscious about it. And so he's like, it's not a lot of people in prison with vitiligo. So prison care, like healthcare, is not really even the best. So they're not gonna, they usually do whatever is gonna benefit most of the population inside, But he's like determined, and that's one thing about Mr. Jackson. That is one determined man. That is why we have our visits back. But I was like, Marcello, you sure they gonna get you this cream? The cream is about $2,000. Um, it says a bottle, right? And it's new. It just was approved by FDA. He had me just read the whole thing about it, and it's supposed to restore your pigmentation. Um, and he's like, I don't want to hear about what they don't give us. I don't want to hear about what they ain't gonna do. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna call. I'm gonna write. Well, he said he gonna write medical. He gonna figure it out. And if they say no, then I'm gonna figure out who I need to write after that. I'm like, okay, well, you go. He's very much determined. But me, I get very discouraged. I used to be like that. But it was in a time frame in my life when I just knew that it was things that we could achieve. We could get this, if that. It's almost like when you're, and it's back to the matrix part, right? We basically live in a matrix. We really do. We live in a reality that we think is real, but it's not really what's real. It's something else that's real, right? And to the last little part of it, the majority of us don't mind living in the matrix. It's just what you got to do. You know, it's easier to always go with the flow than to go against the flow. But for the few of us that's like, no, I'm not okay with working my life away. No, I'm not okay with putting all these years and years and years and possibly retiring if I live long enough. No. Like my mother, all the hard work she did, and she died before retirement. And she had retirement, but she did not get to live it. And it's a lot of her life that she did not get to live because she was consumed with school, with work, with everything else, raising kids. It was so much. So at the end of her life, how much of her life did she live? You know? And I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with working the rest of my life. I'm not okay with working as much of my life that I've worked. Now, you know, I would have been okay if it had paid off. If all my hard work had paid off, I definitely would be okay. But it didn't pay off because I'm still struggling. And I'm making it, but barely. And I'm making it way less than I was 10 to 12 years ago. Like, that does not even seem legitimate. People grow over time, and I definitely have grown. So I've done my part. I have gotten better jobs. I have moved up the ranks and stuff. I have put in time. I have went back to school to get more education to put under my belt, to get more, make myself more of a commodity. I have done all those things. But the way in the generation that I live, the way things just compounded in price, but our workers' rates have not compounded the way that things have compounded, such as living, such as cars, such as all of that has not compounded in that way. It's made me worse off than better off. Like, how? Like, I even seen somewhere that my generation was actually the first generation. I think it was the baby boomers, which would have been, I believe, my parents. They raised the first generation that would not be better off than them. And it is actually true. My parents did a lot better in life than I'm doing. Yeah. And then now it's like a trickle down. Money actually is doing better than I am doing and was doing. She's way further along, though she is, you know, raising Princess pretty much, you know, by herself, but with me, you know. So she's not alone. That's my baby for life, girl. So though she is doing that, she is further along than I was, but she is actually behind because the times have changed. No longer can you work one job to survive. No longer can you afford an apartment and a car. Like, we live in a whole different society. where you could barely keep a roof over your head. So I don't know. I think what's really causing me the anxiety is that it feels like, one, I'm running out of time, and two, is everything I worked so hard for, like even all the hard work I put into trying to break Marcello's story and bring him home, girl, it's looking like that ain't gonna happen. I hate to accept that. I don't want to accept that, so I'm not gonna accept it. But it's looking that way. I mean, that's the, like, if you look at the weather, girl, when it looked like it's gonna rain, or it looks like it's gonna be a sunshiny day, girl, it don't look like that's in the weather pattern. The artist thing ain't looking like it's in the weather pattern. What it's looking like, I can be an artist, but I'm always going to be an artist on the side. I always have to keep the main job because the bills are going to continue to come, and it's only going to get harder. So I don't know. That's what's causing my anxiety. I wish there was a switch that I could switch my brain off, switch my mind, my thinking, because I've very much become an overthinker, which overthinking things completely cause you anxiety. So yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know. So I'm sure you sitting up there saying, girl, you need some prayer. You need Jesus. I sure do, girl. So, send up a prayer for me. Usually, feelings like this last for a few moments. I sit in the moment for a few, and then I'm right back at it because I'm like, no, this can't be my story. This ain't how my story end. I got to try to do something else. That ain't working. I got to try to do it. So that's them twins, them Gemini twins fighting. One Gemini, one of them said, girl, goodbye. Let's sit down. Let's take several seats and let's just, it is what it is. The other twin like, get up. We got to make this happen. Girl, do you know all the work you put in? Do you know how much you grind? Did you know what the storm you just went through? Did you see that? And you're going to give up now? So I guess that twin gonna win. I got to keep fighting. I got to figure it out some type of way, right? But hopefully everybody else is doing great. That's why, girl, mental health really is big. Like, now people are starting to talk about it, which is good. You no longer have to sit with your own feelings by yourself. You can actually converse with others that you may not even know they're actually going through the same thing as you. And a lot of times when you find somebody that is going through a similar thing that you're going through, you no longer feel so alone. One, you cut yourself some slack because you no longer think that it's just you and your loser life. You feel like it's other people as well, so you cannot be so bad if other people are going through the same things. You know what I mean? But yeah, I just desire, I'm not saying I want some new problems, girl, but like, some of the problems I've been going through, I'm ready for them to end. Like, I'm tired of those same old issues. I'm tired of this constant fight for justice that never comes. Like, I'm ready for it to come. Like, why? Why is it skipping us up? Why is it that we've been in line forever from the beginning, and now people behind us are getting serviced and getting freed before, it feels like we were just skipped in line, looked over, left out, forgotten. You can put it with my YouTube. Many have come before and after me, and many have made it before and after me. It feels like I'm just still here in line, like, oh, well, I'm patiently waiting my turn, but when is it actually my turn, I don't know. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to go home, get my mind right. do a little bit of cleaning up, and then of course it's time for me to jump right back on my work shift. All right, it's your girl Cadillac.